So up to now, we have discussed many aspects related to the operating systems. Let me share the screen. All right. So basically, these are the module objectives we have completed, and here the types of software is mainly divided into two. One is operating systems. The main functionality of performing like hardware related stuff with the software. So this is like a intermediate layer that supports in many aspects. And the second one is application software. If it is like someone asked the question like, what are the categories of broader categories of softwares? They can simply say it's operating systems and the application softwares. Application softwares are the softwares that we are using day-to-day life to perform many activities. So there are different types available, and here the standard definition from Britannica. So it provides many things, but basically it's quite confusing. But nowadays, if it is like simply see how this hardware related stuff and other stuff, how it's worked. That's the major concern under this operating systems context. So what are the requirements? Additional layer to get some work done, and this is the very first component. So we have discussed those things. The operating system is the interface between the user and the hardware. So this is the operating system layer, and underneath that we have hardware layer, the different types of operating systems available. What's an operating system again? There are many definitions available. It's an interface between computer and the user. Software that manages the hardware, supplies services to many things. So essentially the software that controls the hardware and other software. So it's the major or the most powerful platform. So there are many definitions again, like program that implemented in software or firmware that marked the hardware usable, set of programs designed to coordinate the activities of the computer so that the most efficient use of the resources and stuff. So we spoke about what are the resources and other stuff. So the role of operating system, different activities that they requires to do. Processor related stuff, how the processor management and how the information or the instructions to be flowed somewhere, it's processor, and the memory, how to manage the memory. So almost we have completed these components, and hereinafter we have to, today we are focusing on file system and IO devices to be conducted. And it's the connected layer in between the operating system and the different hardware components. So basically this is the user interface that you interact with. There are different types of user interfaces available, like you can use your touch pad or your keyboard, or you might use your natural language processing, your voice commands. Nowadays it's most popular, so different types of interfaces available. We're supposed to discuss those things also. So the users are here, they are connected with different virtual apparent with the user interface, and there are startup apps that starting once you're starting your application, your operating system, there are different startup apps that helps to starting the application. So then we have started the components of operating system, processor management almost completed. Then the memory management we have completed. Files and disk management, today we supposed to discuss this one. And device managers management, user interface, system security, performance and error handling are the major concerns that we are following under this module. So first of all, the processor management. What's a program? It's a simply and it's a code that executable. It's an executable state of a code. So it's not executing actually. Sorry, it's not an executing. It's something that resides in your computer. So usually it's stored in a disk, and the processor is the running state of the program. So you should understand in any given software there are two stages. The first one is it stays as it is. As an example, Microsoft Word is installed in your machine, but it's not executing at the moment. So that means it's a program. It's not executing. There are many softwares that you have installed at the moment. You might have installed PLC player, Word, Word, Excel, or some another graphic processor, graphic processing software. Many things can be installed, but those are not usable at this moment. But at the moment you are using Zoom, so the processors related to Zoom is now activated, so it's working. Sometimes you are using a Word document to type some important stuff, so that means the Word is running in the running stage. So it's not just installed, it's running. So the number of processors are here. So we have performed different couple of activities to identify these processors, process IDs and other stuff. And what's the difference between a program versus process? Some another advanced terminologies like program, process, and the instance of program that is running in memory. So what's a thread? It's a part of process. It's not a complete process. It's just a simple or a one single part of a process. So after combining many threads, you might find a one single process. All right. Then we was discussed related to the processor management, the process diagrams, how the different stages are moved in a given processor, from new stage to ready stage, to running stage to date. This is a one process, and there might be new to ready, ready to running, then running to timeout. The application is getting stuck. New to ready, ready to running, running to blocked or the polling an event. So the another one is new to ready, ready to running, running to dead. So this is the terminated. So these are few combinations that can have in the process management, but this overall picture, the process diagram, should be in your head. If it is not in your head, you might get confusions once it comes to understanding the process management. Then what's process management? It's a part of operating system that controls which processors get to run on the processor and for how long. There are different algorithms, as I state you. If we have sufficient time, the time permits, we'll definitely perform these algorithms and check the mathematical equations related to this processor management. But at the first round, I don't want to go that deep detail because I know you people are just first year students, so it might be quite confusing for a first year student. What are these and how these are happening? As I told you at the beginning, you should give sufficient effort. At least my recommendation is 12 hours per week, bare minimum, to understand here and there. You know, this is quite advanced topic, so as I told you about these things. So please make sure to go and learn using different materials available, unless it might be quite confusing. And I have shared all the complete PPT deck, the presentation at the beginning. So you have sufficient time to go and learn what happens in future. So please make sure to go and understand in and out the terminology, different key terms, the technical terms related to the operating system. All the slides are provided almost. So please make sure to go through and understand those things. I'm continuous, like next couple of weeks, even I'm following the same slide deck. So please make sure to go and understand these things, this stuff well. All right. All right. The scheduler is the component that decide what is the next process or which process to be run, and different methodologies available. There might be a time allocated. When there's a timeout, there might be different cases available. Cases can be happened, and blocked stage process can be blocked because it waits for some sort of resource. The resource is not fulfilled. Interrupts are usually happens to let the operating system when an event process is waiting for has something like these things was gone here and there. All right. So the process management. Well, this is the part that I skipped. One important thing before moving towards. Could you please let me know how about your Monday lecture schedule? Monday evening. Monday evening. Do you have a lecture or not? No lectures. All right. Then Monday from 1 to 5 we'll have a lecture to cover up session, because last week we haven't conducted lecture. So Monday 1 to 5 we will do the lecture, 3 hours lecture for the missing, and 1 hour for the missing 1 hour that time, like couple of weeks back. We have to do that. So altogether there's 4 hours lecture. Don't worry, I don't continue 4 hours, like 1.5 hours, 5 minutes break, another 1.5 hours, another 10 minutes break, kind of things we'll do. You have a tutorial. Is that tutorial, is there a lecture kind of thing, or this tutorial? Sorry? Yeah, someone can tell me, Ravindu or Tejan or anyone. So you don't have time next Monday, all right? Econ tutorial means you have like work, right? All right. Then from Monday, Saturday, so sorry, Tuesday you have 6 a.m. morning we have stat exam, all right? Then Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening, how about Wednesday evening? All right. Then we'll do Wednesday evening 1 to 5. All right. Well, I don't have. Yes, no worries. All right. We'll do 1 to 5 Wednesday for the cover up session. Maths tutorial 1:15 to 3:15. All right. Then we'll do like this. Tuesday evening 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then Wednesday 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right. We'll do Tuesday 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. or else 6 to 10. What about 6 to 10? Tuesday 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay. Since you have Tuesday morning there's an assessment, so we'll do Tuesday evening 6 to 10. Okay, I'll give a little bit time to have your dinner, unless no, on the other hand, you can have your dinner, right? It's not a big deal. It's you are in front of a computer, etc. Okay, then confirmed Tuesday 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll do Tuesday. All right. Okay. Well, any concerns? No, right? No lectures at that time. Hopefully, no. No assessments allocated, right? All right. Fine. We'll do Tuesday 6 to 10. Okay. I'll discuss those things, the process ID and the, I think I have spoke about process ID, but I haven't spoke about inter-process communication. I speak, I need 1 hour to discuss these two, deadlock and inter-process communication related to stuff to discuss. We'll do. And could you please, like the representatives, could you please share that information with your friends? Information means we have Tuesday 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. the lectures. All right. These representatives, please share among your clusters. Guys, I can't remember who is the representative for you. Really, Ravindu, right? If I'm not mistaken. I have shared your number, saved your number for some reason. Can someone please confirm that you you can no reps today? Is that so? Kalpani, Hasinta.
Yes, sir.
Can you please share that information with the?
Yes, sir. I already shared that.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, we'll continue the session up to now. Sorry, any questions related to the processes? Have you gone through some additional information? Any questions? Anything related to this process management? There are advanced concepts related to the process management, but you know, like this is more than enough for a beginner, a person who's jump into the computer world, understanding what is a process and other stuff. It's more than enough. If we have sufficient time, we'll go few rounds again to discuss some advanced concepts. But these are advanced for you even, I'm pretty sure. Though these are basics, these concepts are quite advanced for you because it's you people have the very best or the beginners of this world. So I'm pretty sure. All right, no questions. Then the next one is memory management. All right, we'll see what is this memory management. We have done actually, not last week, 2 weeks back. The processes are properly allocated to the memory. That's the main and most important once it comes to operating systems perspective. And if there's lack of memory, definitely there are hangs. You as an end user, you have experience like freezing your computer, the operating system, or it's got stuck. So you are unable to perform anything because of this memory. If there's insufficient memory, definitely these kind of issues can be happen. So we have find out our RAM size, our physical storage, the primary storage and the secondary storage information related to us. And we conducted a complete session on virtual memory, the importance of virtual memory, and how to find our virtual memory, how to keep it dynamic, and other related stuff. What happens if the swap space is insufficient, swap in, swap out, and other stuff. We just gone through those things. Well, the next point we want to discuss is files and disk management. So today discussion will completely follow file and disk, and I believe we can go beyond file and disk because it's not a detailed or very detailed topic. All right. Well, file and disk management. File, named collection of data, normally resides in secondary storage. Now, what is secondary storage? In generic terms, so you might see it's your physical disk, your disk in generic terms in your computer, your C drive or D drive or E drive or something that you installed your softwares, or your files are getting stored in these physical storage, not the pen drive and something like external, but this is your secondary storage. That's why I specified it's normally. Some of us have an extension after last dot indicate types, right? Windows, DOS, and Windows. I think you have this experience whenever you are using a Windows machine. Yeah, there's a file type, ABC. The file is abc.txt. So abc.txt. So this is the extension. Now, you should have sufficient understanding related to these extensions. I'm not going to speak on these extensions, but in generic terms, you have some experience. Text files, docx, xls, and other stuff. Directories, folders, the hierarchy structure. It's a logical structure to keep organized your files. Why you are having these different folders? To organize your files, to keep your files in a proper place. Now, if you find this C drive, we'll get an example, C drive. Inside the C drive, you have different default folders like downloads, desktop, music. So these are default folders once you are installing your operating system. Apart from that, you can add many folders as you wish. Many folders to store information. I told last week, we do not store many things in C drive because that's the place that we usually use for virtual memory. Instead of what we have to use, D drive. C drive in the sense, if it is desktop, definitely it's C drive. Desktop is under this C drive. So minimize these files in your desktop always. Push into the D drive or EOEF or something, that D drive or somewhere that you usually store. The best thing is you may able to store these things. Then You might create different folders actually, like for your first year semester, first semester, second year, second semester, batch 20, batch 90, whatever is the name. And inside this folder, there might be different folders again for accountancy, computer science, and other stuff. Then inside these folders, you are storing your assessment1.txt, assessment1.png, assessment2.doc. So those things you are trying to save. So here you might see one example picture in here. In this file, there's a bash file, cs file, h file, bash file, vb file. So different file types are a zip file. So different things are stored. They are actually, it's stored in this place. CMU 8086 devices developer. So this is the place. This is the folder. So this is the folder. So if you want to go back and forth, you can use this arrow, or you can go this, you using this arrow, or you just click in here, then you might move somewhere else. Or else you can use this navigation bar. So you can navigate using C and different folders according to your requirement. Navigation is a very primary requirement, but some students don't know how to navigate properly. Sometimes always they click back and 1,000 times back and finding the required location instead of using this navigation. So always you may use this panel and find proper location. That's easier. That makes time, you have to save your time. And there are different shortcuts. If you want to open your Windows or the My Computer, so you can use Windows and E as a shortcut. Windows and E. Let me share it in the chat. Windows key plus E. Right? Windows E. Windows plus E. Plus in the sense, same time you have to press Windows E. Press it in the same time. Got it? Anyone got issues? Quite easy, right? Windows E. Windows E. You might press Windows D to move to desktop. You can move to desktop easily. If you want to create a folder, Control Shift N. Found? And you might see your sleep button in your desktop. Can you see a sleep button in your desktop? Found it? If anyone got confused, let me know. I'll definitely help you. Okay. Alt F4. Don't press all of a sudden. Just open an empty folder and press Alt F4. That might open a folder. Sorry, close a folder. Close a folder. Alt F4. If you press twice Alt F4, you might able to sleep your machine. Sometimes if shutdown. Sorry, the shutdown box will be appear. So you can decide what to do. Alt F4. If you want to rename a folder, you have to press F2. Open up, go to a specific folder and press F2. You might move able to change it. F2. I believe you are running with me. All right. Then Alt tab, Alt tab. Then you can move different screens. Alt tab. Done. Any issues you got? No, everything is fine. Remaining rename is F2. Rename shortcut is F2. You can rename any folder. Even files you can rename using F2. Sometimes you might needs to press function key. Function keys in your keyboard, bottom of your keyboard. You might find next to control or somewhere like that. Fn, usually it has named it Fn. Sometimes you have to press function key to perform different actions. Without pressing function key, you can't. Everything is okay. Anyone got questions, problems, issues? You can close using Alt F4. Well, some of your network, there might be like you should press function key actually for some things. I'm not sure. It depends on your keyboard. So you just try it. Some of keyboard shortcuts are Windows D, Windows E, Alt F4, then what others? Sleep button, rename F2, Alt tab. So these are very like day-to-day life. You have to use these shortcuts. All right, I think that's more than enough. But you may experience many things after even after the lecture. You can go through and you can understand different shortcuts available to move back and forth. So these drives are known as logical drives. So these are logical drives. So these are logical drives because it's just logically we have partitioned it. We have divided it to different components. As an example, C drive, D drive, E drive, and other stuff. But actually, there's no physical difference in between these drives. It's just stay in the same disk. It stays in the same disk, but it's partitioned according to your requirement. You have decided to partition into different components. That's how this. That's why we are naming this as a logical drive. The hierarchical logical drives. So these are hierarchical logical drives because it just follows some sort of hierarchy structure. This is hierarchical. The same address you may find in here. This is hierarchical logical fault structure. So it's happening in like this and this. All right. Well, any questions up to now? Um, what is your idea for a quiz or a assignment? Any special requirement to do? Anything you want to do? Because I need to give a assessment to you, a formal assessment. What's your idea? Any ideas? You may discuss and let me know. If you want to write a report, I can give a report. If you want to implement something, you can implement something. If you want to do a practical, you can do a practical. Many aspects in the subject matter. So you decide what kind of a thing. If you don't have idea, I'll decide what to do. Okay. So you decide what you want to do actually, to like not for actually an evaluation only, to get some sort of skill and understanding. If you are proposing this kind of evaluation is quite good, no worries at all. If it is fit for you, I'll definitely do the required modifications and do it. If there's no, I'll decide what to do. It's easier, right? Well, there's a question. Why? There's a guy who is crying. Any reason behind that? It's a girl or boy, I can't find. Okay, for some reason there's a cry. I don't know why. All right. Well, now here you might see how the information stored in a disk. So this is a disk. So this is a file allocation table. Don't get confused. I know this is this. What I'm speaking in here. It's quite confusing. It's not something for you. Okay, so it might be a little bit. There's a question for past papers. Since this is like online situation in this moment, you don't have, I don't think so. You have past papers can be fine. So best is you have to go to the library and find it. You have to. I think it's physically open now. I don't know whether it's open or not. So you can go to library or drop an email. Probably sometimes they'll help. Right. Somehow this is the disk and how these information store in, like as a block number. For now, I just want to tell you what is this. I don't want to go in detail. If we got a time, we'll definitely go back again and understand how this file allocation table, the entry, how the page indexing and other stuff happens. But for now, I don't want to go that detailed. But overall, what you should understand is a place with a specific numbers or a table. And the common attributes of files: the file size, readable, writable, read only, and different lot of file attributes are there. I just given some few. And file system manage physical storage of data on secondary storage drives, maps logical file structure to physical storage. A single file may be distributed over. So don't think about this module 6. It's a bit advanced for you. Different operating systems may have different incompatible file systems. What is this? Last point, different file systems or file operating systems may have different incompatible file systems. That means if you are trying to open an exe file in a Mac, what happens? Anyone who is using a Mac related Mac OS? At least iPhone. Can you open it? Can't. We can't open these Windows operating system related exe files or any other Windows specific files to execute in any other operating system. If it is the structure is not Windows, or like the ancestors are, or the structure is not, or the architecture is not based on these Windows related, it won't happen. So let me emphasize another important thing here. That's why most of the Ubuntu users or Linux users do not get Windows viruses are getting attacked. So if you are using a Windows machine, you are really fear, right? You are really fear with number of viruses are getting attacked. And what I usually do, personally, I don't use any virus guard, but there's a Linux machine, Ubuntu machine. So first of all, we can plug whatever the virus related, or lot of viruses or any other thing, no worries at all. We can plug all the bad stuff into our Ubuntu machine. Then we can open it. No virus attacks, no exe virus attacks, so no Windows virus attacks will happen to Ubuntu. So the best thing is move to that environment. So your life might get secured. It's really hard to attack for these Windows viruses. Lot of Windows having lot of viruses, right? But Ubuntu, there are no attacks or very less, because the structure and the community and different aspects are there. But once it comes to exe files, especially the spread, the exes and the viruses related stuff, it's not expand in Ubuntu environment. That's why it's not getting infected or getting issues related to these Windows. Got the point? So I don't recommend for a business student to move all of a sudden to Ubuntu and get that experience. It might be terrible for you, because quite hard to install operating systems, sorry, softwares, application softwares, and work on different softwares, and a lot of things are there. But basically, if you are really wanted, if you have two machines, you can install one machine with Ubuntu. You can dual boot actually nowadays, and there are VMs and other stuff. But if you have another separate one, have that, get this experience. It's another operating system. Yeah, well, Windows is not open source here. That's good. Windows is not open source. Good. Well, let me ask you another question now. What happens to your Android phones? Now you are plugging your Android phone to your machine, your Windows. Do you get infected from these Windows viruses? What do you think? You are plugging your your Android phone to your Windows machine. Think your Windows machine currently having a very dangerous virus. It's attacked now, almost. Virus or a worm or a Trojan horse or any other kind of thing. What could be happen? Shall I share a link? Well, I think that might be interactive. Give me a second. I'll quickly create a small question. Well, I'll give some points to that also. You collect these points actually. It's quite important, because most of the students are not getting good marks, getting low marks. So we can add these points to your wallet, your final assessment. And if you want to get a copy, I have enabled that option. If you don't like to get a copy, you can just type test@gmail.com. So let me share the link. We'll give some points. You may collect 5 points from After completing this, I think you are typing at the moment. Keep typing in a document and you may paste it. But I have shared a link with you. It's in the chat. Could you please complete it as soon as possible? Don't take a lot of time. Just 6 minutes maximum. Don't take more than that. I think you can write around 10 words, 10 to 20 words around. Not a detailed answer, not a short answer, not yes, no. You can write yes or no, what happens in here, like some sort of trivial, like 2 sentences more than enough. I got altogether 8 responses. How about the others? Okay, thank you. I got 16 answers now. I think I can proceed. So I got different answers once it comes to these 16 responses. Now it's 17 responses. I got different answers. Well, let me explain the situation. If you are writing this kind of an answer, then you may specify what you wants to write. Now, the question is asking, there's a Windows machine which is infected with a virus or a worm, and you are trying to plug your Android mobile to your uh, this infected machine. So, what could be happen? The possibility. So, is this viruses are infected, or will is not, or something? What is the output? Right now, you may start with this application like this kind of a question like this. Initially, you have to state in usual cases, Windows viruses are running in a medium of operating system, Windows operating system. So if it is infected to the machine, that means it's running in a Windows environment. So the architecture of the Windows or the medium of the Windows is the core reason for this infection. Or you can say simply, it's a Windows based machine, so it's infected for Windows. Now I'm going to plug another Android device. Android device means it's a Linux based operating system. So it's a Linux based operating system. Android is a Linux based operating system. So the architecture of this Linux based operating system is different from this Android sorry, this Windows architecture. So these two mediums are different mediums. So if it is executing in Windows, that means there's very less or no probability to execute it in the Linux environment or your Android phone. You can like specify a little bit further. You can specify a virus can be stored in a Windows machine. It's a mobile virus which can be infected anywhere. In such cases, there's a probability to infect it to the Android phone too. But in normal cases or usual situation, there's no possibility. If you like given the detail like this, then you might get a good mark. Got the point? Any arguments? Thanks for the attendance, for the assessment, the in-class activity. I got 19, so almost nearly all the students. But though it's Android phone or Linux phone, there is a possibility to have viruses, but it's quite rare. Now, I want to emphasize another point in here. Some of students installing a virus guard for Android phones, I personally know. But as per my view, I don't think so it's required, because the possibility to attack a virus, we are trying to discuss this under the security component well, but overall, for Android phone, the probability of having a virus is quite low. Probability, I mean, there's a possibility in any digital device, there are places to exploit and there might be attacks. I can't give a guarantee. No one in the world can give a guarantee, 100% guarantee this device won't get attacked. But the probability of having an attack is quite less once it comes to Linux-based operating systems. It's quite less because of the community and the structure, because it's open source, so anyone can engage. So even you can engage, you can find it and you can do the modifications if you are really nice. There are different operating systems developed even in Sri Lanka. These Linux-based operating systems, Sri Lankans was developed. Actually, it's not completely developing. It's just like configuring. Most of the stuff it's configuring. All right, clear? All right, there's no questions. We'll move to the next. All right, now file system also manage app user requests, file open, save, etc. So you know about these things, opening a file, saving, and other stuff. App user system calls. What are these system calls? I don't want to emphasize today itself. You might get confused with these system calls and their files and everything at the beginning, but this is a good keyword to learn, self-study about what is this system calls. If it is the examination, sometimes there might be a question, what do you mean by a system call? So it's a self-study for now. Users do this via utilities, file manager, or user interface. Once it comes to user interfacing, I'll little bit go about these things, but for now it's like more than enough. Access control permissions to files. Can a user app read file, write it, delete it, etc. Now, we'll do some sort of activity now. Create a text file in your machine, in your desktop, simply. Once you created a text file, you just try to make it read only. That means unable to edit it. Check the possibility to whether you can do it or cannot do it, such kind of a thing. You can't type anything. The file is open, but you can't type anything. Check the possibility whether you can do such thing or not. You feel free to do anything. If anyone got opportunity, let me know quickly. But if not, all right, do it later on and update me if you perform that activity. Any chance? It might be read only or write only or something like that. Give a try and let me know what's your output. Linked security functions of operating systems. So that's basically happens. And once it comes to disk management, one key term is partitioning. What do you mean by partitioning? Dividing a physical drive into multiple logical drives. Now you know what is a logical drive. It's nothing. It's just dividing. This is your disk. It divides into different parts. That's partitioning. And you can rename as C drive, D drive, EO, any other day. That's it. These are partitions. This is your hard disk. If you open your My Computer, you might see different partitions in your machine. You can modify these partitions. There are different softwares available to do resizing and other stuff. But my primary recommendation is don't modify your partitions in and there. Keep as it is. Try to modify different aspects. Add the files into different places. That's the meaning of these aspects. That's the keyword of this spanned volumes, combining multiple partitions, hard drive into single logical drive. We can span volumes. So we can combine multiple partitions. As an example, D and E, we can combine together. D and E drives can be combined together. In such cases, we are known as paired volumes. All right, it's a paired volume. Any questions up to now? No questions. Very good, students. Well, we'll do a practical. Well, I want to change the icon of a standard folder. It's like, the standard folders icon. Try to change the icon of a folder. It's the standard folder, like have a different, like a flower kind of thing or a tree kind of thing. A folder needs to like add something. You want to add image simply or some sort of design to your folder. That's it. It's not a big deal. It's quite easy. Completed? Not it. Do I need to share my screen and show it to you? Is that so? If you want to say yes, I can share my screen and show. You can. Okay, sir means can or can't. Done. Done. You can. Sure. All right. All right. Will do. It's not a big deal. It's quite easy. All right. Share my entire screen. Okay. I think you can see my screen now. Just I'm going to create a new folder. Just I can give test some folder name. That's it. Then right click it and go to properties. Once you go to properties, what is this? Go to customize. Under the customize, you can find change icon. Click change icon, and different icons are there. So this is the standard icon. I just want to add like this kind of icon, a weird icon. Just click it, then OK, then apply, then OK. Then if I go to the desktop, I can see the icon is changed. So this is a folder actually. It's nothing, but you can like have different icons in your screen. Nice different icons having different folder. Just right click, properties, first to customize, change icon. We'll add another icon, tree kind of a thing. Apply. Okay. Okay. It's another folder. We'll rename. What to do? But anything we can do. My tree. Very nice folders. So this is the standard folder that we usually use. Standard default folder, default image, and these are like different funny things, fancy things we can do. Got it? Do it and get some sort of experience. Fine, done, quite easy. All right. Well, there's a chat. We'll see what is that. Done. Yes. Good. I think everyone in a proper pace right now. Everything is going well. You can do the same thing. Your Windows icons, right? And different things you can do. Your icons and other stuff. You can do different funny things to this. All right. Well, any questions related to the files and folders? We can take customize images even. No worries at all. You just want to edit into the place layer. It's not a big deal. You just click download that file, then browse. Click the browse. If it is in the download location, you can do it. Whatever the place that you have. I don't have any image to show actually. Just browse it, looking for icon this file, then you can just click. But you have to like icon file. I see you on file, not PNGs and other stuff. It should be icon. That's it. Okay. Any questions? Any questions to discuss further? Everything is good to go, clear? All right, if you don't have any question, we'll do a question. Let me share the question quickly with you. I'm sharing these responses, right? I just enabled it for your easiness. If you want to get a copy to your email address, you just edit. If you don't want, just type just@gmail.com. That's more than enough. Okay, just adding for help. We'll add. You may get 2 points. I have shared the question in the chat. This is not a big question. I think it's not getting more than 1 minute. It's a quite easy question. I just got only one response for now. All right, I think almost more than 20, yes, 20, 23, 24, 25. Okay, thank you. Almost good. Everyone answered perfectly, so I don't want to explain it a bit further. We're all good to go to the next. Well, that's the end of the file and disk management. Now we have completed process management, memory management, file and disk management. Let's move to the user interface. This is quite important and very interesting. Again, very interesting. Operating system related function. We will see what happens in this user interface. This is that you day-to-day use, usually you use, but there are some features about that. We'll start with text user interface, or like usually we are telling as a command line interface, or if it is like Ubuntu or shell, what we call, not Ubuntu, any Linux or Mac, we usually have in this shell. So it's just a black screen like this. It's just a black screen, and we can input only the text, usually commands. These commands are very short in forms of English words. After typing something, we'll get some sort of output. Anyone gone through that video I have shared with you at the first day? In there, I have spent around, I think, 10 to 15 minutes with this command prompt. For some reason, if you haven't gone through, I just give very basic, let me share the screen, some very basic overview. I highly recommend to go that and understand. All right, this is my, can you see my screen or not? Yes, all right. This is my command prompt. How to open command prompt? Just press Windows key, then type CMD. This Windows key, then type CM. Once you're typing CM, usually the command prompt comes, pop-ups. You can type command or CMD or command prompt in the search box in there. Easily, you will navigate to this kind of a black screen. So you can type anything, numbers, special characters, anything you can add to here, but that's it. You don't have opportunity to add images or any other thing. Let me share one interesting command that I haven't used in that video, system info. System info. Sorry, system info. Yes. Once I click system info, I'll get detailed description of my machine. So I don't want, there's no worries to show all of my details, because even this laptop is not owned by myself. So no worries at all. So here the host name is this one, the operating system, the Windows 10, and the operating system version, manufacturer, configuration. All right, such details are there. Sometimes you might require the system model, especially the system model. If you want to go for an upgrade kind of a thing, you should have like especially SSDs and other stuff. If you want to install, you should match with this one, the system model. So this is very important. And this is the system type, the processor, BIOS information, and boot device, input local time zone. It's Sri Jayanthapura. And the physical memory, now you know about the total physical memory, and you know about the virtual memory. Good, the virtual memory maximum size, and the availability and the in-use information. So this is extract same with the UI that you have seen those days, couple of weeks back. We have shown right in the user interface, so it's same. Page file location, domain. What's the domain? Domain. Sometimes you can't understand for now because you haven't done networking and other stuff. If you have done networking and other stuff, I have very interesting commands to be shown, but I know it's quite confusing for now. No worries at all. And the login server, so it's just my machine, so there's nothing, and hotfixes. For now, you can't understand most of the things. And like this is the network cards. Again, what are the network cards available? And DHCP and other stuff. I don't think so you can understand Hyper-V and other stuff. if you like stat, you can get what are the active connections and other stuff, but for now I don't think so. And ping command into specific location, these are very interesting commands, but since you are limited knowledge, I don't want to go detailed. But if you watch that video, in there I have shown how to get a password of a Wi-Fi. So you can go through that video. I don't want to demonstrate it again for you because it's available. Go in that in the first day I have shared YouTube tutorial, right? So at that type tutorial, almost I'm sharing how to grab the password from a Wi-Fi. Those kinds of funny things we can do from this command prompt. Give a try, spend a couple of hours, learn some interesting things. But since you are like still you are in a beginner level, I don't think so you might be able to understand all these concepts because you don't know the theory. So if you have good understanding what is this ping and commands with IP addresses and other stuff, you might be able to do very interesting things. But I know it's not still. Next year probably you are well, and next year onwards you can enjoy with these command prompts with commands and other stuff. For now, I just want to emphasize it's a mechanism that we can provide input to the system. We can provide input to the system. These commands are usually text commands. Not usually, it's a text command. So it's a text command we can input. Those are commands. That's all you should understand. Different options available like this, and these are the different parameters. Even you can shut down your computer using command prompt after a specific interval. If I'm not mistaken, I have shared that commands and how to add these commands also. And if there's a hidden file, you can open it using command from prompt. If there's a virus like that, what we call different viruses, I can't remember the name, WinRAR virus or something. We can find those things suddenly. Hidden folders we can open using this command prompt. Different interesting things we can do. For now, I just want to emphasize this is a mechanism that we can provide input to the system. You just enjoy, you check your system information using system info. It's very important for you because you know up to at least some level system info. I'll go to the slides again. Text user interface, also known as command line or shell, requires user know commands and parameters. You should know. If you don't know these commands and parameters, you can't perform anything. You just learn. You should learn. You should learn these things. Mainly in older operating systems. So this is a dir command. You may execute it in your machine quickly. Dir, just type dir. You may find this directory structure. Dir, what is the volume and other related information. Quickly get some sort of experience. Open the command and just type dir. If it is a shell, you have ls, ls minus a, ls minus l, lot of things. And you can find the date time using your command prompt. You just try to find the date and time. Yeah, ATTRIB, it's very useful actually. You can grab lot of information. Even the hidden folders, we can get this ATTRIB. There are several parameters for a trip like /SHR dash R recursive R for recursive and stuff. Done. The second type of user interface is graphical user interface. It's just nothing that you are usually using icons and menus. Pointing device use main interface tool like mouse, touchpad. Requires more memory for graphical information. If there are too much graphics, it requires additional memory. Instead of if it is a command line, it minimizes the graphic requirement because it's just a black screen. But if you have some sort of graphical information, it helps to the user to identify, or it provides some sort of hint at a glance and easy to navigate from different places, and it's much interactive and very like thrill out than having just a black screen. So most of the cases people move to these graphical user interfaces because it's quite nice, very attractive. That's the reason. Most modern OSs having GUI, it's obvious. Common components are start menu, taskbar, desktop, shortcuts, and icons. So these are very common components, but apart from that, a lot of different user interface related information there. So this is the start menu, this is the taskbar, and oh, sorry. These are the shortcut keys. You know how to create a shortcut, right? And the desktop and other stuff. Anything you need to learn about this user interface additionally? I just given very high level. Do you want anything detailed? No. Third one is natural user interfaces. Now, this is one of emerging environment, but you have used this day to day. Uses more intuitive, natural human behavior to interface. Newer operating systems, technology is still developing for some types. Touch screen, most common used by tablets, phones, smart laptops. Voice commands. Voice commands. Now, you can use your voice to give commands to many devices, even your Windows machine, your Android phone, Mac related like MacBooks and other stuff, iOS related, whatever. Almost everywhere nowadays, voice commands are enabled. Even you can type using Windows command voice. You know how to do that? You can type using voice. No, not really. Oh gosh. I think There's a set of videos that I have done for one of Edge again. Microsoft Word. In there, I have shown how to perform video voice typing. I'll share the link with you. Probably you can go through that. It's not a big deal. It's just enable the type. Even Google Docs and other stuff, it's enabled now. So you can type. You don't want to use your fingers. You just speak. Then it automatically translates into the text. The accuracy might be not 100%, but up to a certain level, accuracy is there. It's not 100% because our accent and our voice is not perfect English. That's the core reason, because it's trained for English voice, but they have identified like Indian English for us. So they are translating according to that accent. That's the reason. It's not a perfect English, but perfect English accent, like what they are telling is quite different. Gesture recognition, like you're blinking the eyes and swap your screen without touch. So those things are there. Right, we'll do a small activity as a like small warm up. Guest tracking and brain machine interfaces. I'll give 5 minutes to search on these two topics, and I'll share a link. You quickly answer for that. Start searching these two topics, case checking and topic 1 and topic 2, brain machine interfaces. I'll give 5 minutes to search and 2 minutes to summarize. Altogether 7 minutes to write the answer. Quickly start searching. I'll share the link with you to answer. I've shared the link with you. You can take altogether another 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes completed. I got the answers. Still, I got only 11 responses, at least another few. Most of your answers are good. Thank you. I got 15 responses. Others can respond later on. So one thing I want to emphasize in here, please don't copy paste anything from another article. I have seen some students directly copy pasted. There's no value at all, especially for your life and your academic life. There's no point at all, because copy pasting can do for anyone, even grade 10 11 students can do, isn't it? Copy and paste, search something in the internet like Google it and copy and paste it. Anyone can do it. You should read something from any source. It might be book, it might be a video, any medium, a website or something. No worries at all. You have to learn it and write in your own words. That's very important. Please don't try to copy and paste. And there are different methods to avoid the plagiarism and other stuff. But for write your own words, write in your own terms. It might be not a perfect answer. There might be grammar issues, there might be spelling issues. No worries at all. Since you are a beginner, it's not a big problem for you. So you can deal it later on. Somehow. Thanks for the responses. I got now 17 responses, if I'm not mistaken. Almost all the answers are perfect. Good, actually. It's not perfect, it's good. With the case and machine. Okay. All right. We'll go to the slides again. Any questions? Anything needs to clarify further? Up to now, we have good understanding in these topics: process management, memory management, file disk, user interfaces. 3 components remaining. We'll go to the next one, which is system security. Security must consider external environment of the system and protect it from unauthorized access, malicious modification or instructions, accidental introduction of inconsistency. Now, apart from these concepts, there are a lot of concepts that we should understand under the context of operating system or related to the operating system that combine with the system security. It might be hardware security, it might be operating system security. Hardware related issues needs to solve very carefully, some sort of mismatches of the hardware. Operating system runs on a specific hardware, so it should support in many aspects. Let me give an example. Now, all of a sudden, sometimes your speakers or the volume is not working for some reason. All of a sudden, then what happens to me also? All of a sudden, speakers are not working. I can't hear anything. And microphone, I'm not sure whether microphone is not working. For some reason, speakers are not working. Suddenly, I got a message from my machine. The speakers are not working. Please check it. Please check it. Now, similarly, Once it comes to the security threat, operating system deals in many methods, many aspects. Default, there's a Windows security. Default, your Windows computer has a security mechanism to protect yourself. But once it comes to operating systems, it's beyond. It's not just protecting your computer from a virus, or it's just not a virus card to be installed into your operating system. There are a lot of concepts related to the operating system, especially the security concerns. All of these are, most of these, not all, almost like many of these are from external environments, especially the unauthorized access. Different unauthorized accesses might be happening. It could be a file downloaded from the internet, or it could be a device that you connected with your computer, or in any other medium. It might be wireless communication like Bluetooth. So all of these environments are vulnerable. So issues might be open to the environment. It's vulnerable. This vulnerability should be properly safeguard, protect by the operating system. That's one of major requirement, major concern. Malicious modifications or destructions. In any case, if there's a attack, there might be different modifications happened to your computer. So operating system is responsible to provide some sort of security to the system. Then accidental introduction of inconsistency. For some reason, there might be all of a sudden some data is missing, or it's corrupted, or sometimes it might be the file, once it comes to the file opened, it might be corrupted. All of these cases are considered under the system security. The second one is user protection. Authentication, user roles, permission settings, access control. Now, once it comes to user protection, there are different levels of different mechanisms available. User access control. User access control. What does that mean? You can create an account for admin privileges in your computer. You can create an admin account and a user account. What is the importance of these two? Having an administrative account and a user account. You should always use this user account, not the administrative account. Why? In a situation, all of a sudden, there's some sort of automated or worm is going to attack, or automated script is going to execute. If you are accessing with the administrative privileges, that means you have full access to the computer. You can do any modification. But if you are not logged as an administrator, or you just logged as a generic user or a normal user account, that virus would stop until the user administrative privileges comes into the context. There are possibilities. So always create two accounts, one with administrative privileges, the other one without admin privileges, and always use this account, even if it's your personal machine. your personal machine. You could save your machine if you are a well guy, if you are strong enough to handle many of the cases. You don't want to have many accounts. But if you are really new, the best is go for this approach. If you go to your account, you might see you are administrator or any other, whatever the person. And you know what is a profiler. If I'm not mistaken, you know about these profiles and other stuff. It's very important to understand these two codes. What do you mean by this authentication? There are two key terms available: authentication and authorization. And initially, you have to provide a mechanism to identify you. It might be username and password, or it might be fingerprint, or it might be a design, or it might be some another pictorial mechanism to identify yourself, to represent yourself. Then again and again, you are logging. That's the authentication and authorization. User roles are the administrator roles and normal user roles and other stuff. Permission settings. What are the things that you can do? The computer can do. All right. Any questions? Shall we have a small practical related to these permissions to block the adult content and other stuff? Let me share my entire screen. Give me a second. I just want to close a lot of things. Yeah, give me a second. I quickly close this one, and my command prompt. Okay. Let me share my entire screen. I have shared my entire screen. What I'm going to do, I'm just trying to do the same, like control the permissions and other stuff. I'm pressing my Windows key, then I'm typing permission. So it's under system settings. I'm just going to permissions and history. I just click here. Once I click here, I'll move to a screen like this. In here, you might see save search. In Windows search, web previews will not automatically load web results if there are many added content. If you choose preview web results, will apply following settings. Now, these are the settings. You can filter strict, no adult contents at all, and keep your machine. So if there's adult content, it's not viewed. Cloud content search, whatever the stuff. Then the history. If you do not want to keep the search history, you switch off. So this will now not saved in your computer. The information will not saved. So these are very basic, but very important. Got the point? Quite easy. And many other permissions related stuff in there. So you can learn one by one later. Malicious processes, malware protection. Reliability of look for operating system security weaknesses and exploit them. lot harder to protect against, often used special third-party utilities to help with protection. It's obvious this is the point that you most of the cases consider, but there are different levels here. So all I want to get out today, identify today the performance and error handling. It's not a big topic that I have done today, but if we have time, we'll find it and go through further. Any questions up to now? Sorry, we have discussed system security, not the performance. Sorry. So we have completed almost these things. We have 2 more remaining. Any questions? Let's discuss performance and error handling. Now, there are a lot of situations that an operating system can face, a lot of issues, a lot of situations that errors can be occur, a lot of. But operating system itself heal most of the problems without any others interference. So there are mechanisms to avoid these cases. We'll see what are the things that we require to do. One is system performance monitor. Collects and reports key system performance indicators, allows administrators to check how the system is performing, allows identification of bottlenecks or device issues. Whenever there is an issue, we should identify. Collects and reports key system performance indicators. What are the key indicators? What makes the computer running smoother manner? And it allows administrators to check how system is performing, how well the system is performing. If there's a system slowness, or if there's a system modification that required to do, or any other mechanism that administrators to check how the system is performing, especially once it comes to system monitoring. There are different tools available even to check, especially once it comes to server operating systems. There are different mechanisms to check how these are performing. Is it work well? Memory is sufficient or insufficient? Processors are hanged or not? So there are different tools available even, especially when it comes to network operating systems, server operating systems. Allows identification of bottlenecks, any blockers for the system, how the systems are working. Any other device issues available? So such kind of things are there. Error handling handles exceptions that many occur, could process related, most commonly hardware related. Most commonly, there are situations that hardware related issues can be occurred. It might be device incompatibility, it might be operating system incompatibility, or it might be a hardware failure simply. Your speakers are not working at all. Your hard drive is not working at all. So these are the common hardware related issues. Your hard disk is all of a sudden it's not working. Your one of port is not working at all. It's stopped for some reason. Could be process related, might be process related, it might be some sort of hardware. Often handled via interrupts. I think I have discussed these interrupts well. Once it comes to process diagram, I think you can recall these interrupts, how these interrupts are working and other stuff. Errors captured and logged for troubleshooting. System should handle solve these exceptions. Otherwise, should degrade gracefully. What is that? Maintain partial function even if its parts are inoperative. Now, catastrophic failure. Control shutdown instead of handling. There are different mechanisms available to handle these issues. Now, sometimes you have experienced these issues. Your computer is all of a sudden getting like nothing. It's like your screen is just like misty. It's just a mist. Nothing is working. There are different cases available. Different cases happened. Most important thing that I want to emphasize here is operating system itself solving these issues. Now, we'll get an example. Your computer got stuck for some reason. You have opened a lot of software. So one big software that consumes your RAM at more than 90%. Now, all of a sudden, your computer is not working well. It's got stuck. Now, it's just your cursor is hang on. It's a big problem for you. You can't do anything. What should be your option? What you should do? Any opinions? What should you do? You should click continuously here and there. Press some escape button or some button continuously, or keep quiet. Get your hands out and let the computer to solve this problem within a couple of minutes. What is your solution? Continuously press. You can raise your hands. Continuously press. Agreed? Anyone? No one. Continuously pressing a button like escape or enter or any other button. You may raise your hand. No. All right. The last option is get your hands out and wait a couple of minutes until the operating system solves the problem. You can raise your hand if you like to that third option. Still no one? No one. Then what's the option? Now your computer got stuck, hanged. Come on, quickly. I need an answer. I know now it's sleepy. Guys, wake up, wake up. Guys, wake up. Yeah, I got an answer. Wait for a system to solve it. Yeah, thank you. Number 3. Okay, thank you. Any others? Restart. That's good. Okay, that's a good idea. It's an ideal idea, but you know what is this issue? If you restart something without saving, if you restart without saving, as an example, you are typing a big document for some reason. Meanwhile, the system got corrupted. Now, if you restart, what could be happen? The information that you added or the type text can be loose all of a sudden. So it's a big problem. So restart could not be one of best solution. So it's not a best solution. Got the point? All right. Any other answers? Thank you. Any other answers? End task. Perfect. Ended a specific task. It's another option. If it is the if a specific process is going to be hanged, then we can end the task. We can stop a specific task. That's good. What you have to go do, you have to go to the task manager and you have to stop the task. Or you can kill the process. You can find the process ID and using command prompt, you can kill the process. Perfect. That's good idea. Any others? Any ideas? That's all. No more ideas? All right. Thank you. Okay. So it's covered under the error handling, performance and error handling. I know those are quite simple and like overview. A beginners for an overview rather going very detailed all of a sudden. Now we have completed process management, memory management, file disk, user interface, performance and error handling, system security. One more remains, the device management. Quite easy. We'll complete. Yeah, we can complete. 4:15, right? It's finishing at 4:15, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. All right. There's a group activity. We'll see what is this group activity. Instead of a group activity, we'll do individually. A question. If it is a group activity, I know most of the students will leave after the group activity. If now we have 20 students, after the group activity, it it becomes around 10 or sometimes even less than that. So I don't want to have this group activity, but I'll give a question to like make you up and running. I'm pretty sure this question is quite hard. Don't worry. We'll discuss this question. I have shared the question in the chat. Still, I got only 5 responses. How about the others? Still, I got only 12 responses. Quickly, others. Thank you. I got 15 responses. So it's like quite hard question, I know, because I haven't started the system calls. So, the I think you don't know most of you don't know the answer, but you just give it a try. Just give it a try because you heard these deal files, and that's why you have selected deal file. You haven't learned the system call, that's why you don't know how to answer, but the answer should be system call. And good, if you, since you haven't selected restart or shutdown, that means you have you can narrow down the scope up to some extent. That's good. An application process can get the operating system to perform functions that requires true. So these processors are getting into the processors are getting into the functionality using system calls, not through the deal files. We'll discuss what are these deal files and what are these system calls in future, not this semester, but in future. If you have computer studies, the advanced concepts, we'll learn about these system calls and deal files and what they are doing and why we want these deal files, and how powerful is it is. Right. I think that's more than enough for today. We have couple of slides. Shall we know? Like we have some more. Yeah. Well, we'll do a next day. last one, and we'll complete it. So device management. Only one is remaining, this device management. We'll do it later on. All right. Okay. I think that's more than enough for today. Any questions? I can give some few minutes to you to raise questions. How about your assessment should be arranged quickly? Shall I give like a essay to write individually? Or do you want in-class activity, in-class group activity, anything that you want? You may decide with your representatives and let me know before the next class. Then probably I'll be able to arrange it, and we'll complete soon. We don't want to stay further, and we'll complete it earliest as possible and complete all of these assessments, unless the last few months you might have a lot of assessments to complete. So you might struggle to manage the time. It's quite hard. Okay, well, so that's all for today. If you don't have any questions, thank you. See you. Bye bye. We'll meet next week. Any questions? No. All right. Thank you. See you. Bye. We'll meet not next week. We'll meet Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Bye. Do you have any questions? There are a couple of students in here. Mayuni, do you have any questions? Hiranya? 216010P. Do you have any questions? Hiranya? Mayuni?